Hey, what's going on, guys? Kill44 here, and today we're gonna do. Sorry about that. Anywho, today we're gonna do 10 freakiest modern monsters found right here in the United States. Monsters have always been with us. The oldest stories hint at tales stretching back before the invention of writing. Sorry, just ran up the steps. One myth common across Indo-European cultures features a monstrous dragon, and it's slain by a brave hero. More modern monsters often do not offer us the comfort of showing us how to defeat them. They can also be uncomfortably close to us, even in the United States. Here are 10 contemporary beasts. Where to find them. Number 10. Mothman. In 1966 in West Virginia, people began to report sightings of a terrifying human figure with wings, soon dubbed the Mothman. This creature appeared to gravediggers. I woke up about an hour ago, couples out walking and other groups of people. Even eerier than a flying man was the pair of huge glowing red eyes with which he stared at witnesses. For months, more and more people reported sightings of the Mothman, but they all stopped in December 1967. On the 15th of that month at Point Pleasant, the Silver Bridge catastrophically failed. A single cracked beam suddenly fractured and sent dozens of cars plummeting into the river below. When the bridge fell, it was full of rush hour traffic and 46 people lost their lives. People immediately connected the appearances of the Mothman to the disaster and saw him as a herald of doom. Since the Silver Bridge disaster, Mothman has rarely been seen. But there are those who claim to have glimpsed him just before other tragedies. So was Mothman a spectral creature trying to warn people of disaster, or as some researchers think, just a large owl? Yeah, I don't think large owls have frickin', you know what I mean, big red eyes. Number 9, Slenderman. Slenderman may be one of the most horrific things to come from the internet, and that is up against some stiff competition. Originally birthed from a Photoshop competition in 2009 when users were challenged to create paranormal images, the Slenderman has spread throughout popular culture and even, tragically, into the real world. A tall, thin, and besuited character, Slenderman appeared in the background of many photos. Soon, a whole backstory and legend became attracted to him. He targeted children or drove adults insane. One alleged power of Slenderman is that he can take control of people and force them to do things against their will. In 2014, two 12-year-old friends had held down and stabbed another 12-year-old 19 times. The aggressors told police that this was what they had to do to become proxies of the Slenderman, or else he would kill their families. The two girls told each other that they could see Slendy and created a world in their minds where he was real. The girl they attacked survived the ordeal, and the two assailants were sentenced to long periods in mental hospitals. Number 8. Black-eyed children. Children can be scary things to some people at the best of times, but when they stare at you with ghostly black eyes, fear is probably an appropriate response. Black-eyed children have been popping up all over the world. In 1996, a Texas journalist made what is considered one of the earliest sightings. Stopping his car late at night, the reporter was approached by two children who tapped on his window. As soon as he looked at them, he was gripped with terror. The two asked for a lift to the cinema and became agitated when he would not let them in. When he broke eye contact with them, the children's eyes turned pure black. Understandably, the journalist drove off rather quickly. Now, black-eyed children have been spotted in many countries. In the UK, they have been seen several times in Cannock Chase. Recently, they have been making an appearance on the London Underground. Perhaps this explains why Londoners are so reluctant to make eye contact with anyone on the morning commute. Okay, number 7 is Bunnyman. Not the Bunnyman. No, wait, that's something different. I'm thinking of Easter Bunny. Never mind. Okay. Venture into the woods near Colchester overpass in Virginia, and you might be in for a big surprise. According to local legend, a former inmate of an insane asylum has made this location his home. But this is not any old madman. He always wears a giant bunny costume. The tale goes that a 12-year-old boy named Douglas Griffin murdered his parents with an axe at Easter. Locked up for his crimes, all was well until he escaped during a prison transfer. When the police searched for him, all they discovered was a mutilated rabbit corpse. Oh, God. When 3 teenagers later killed in the area, a hunt uncovered the axe-wielding Griffin dressed up in a homemade bunny outfit. Before they could capture him, he stepped in front of a train. That should be the end of the story. But rumors persist that Griffin's spirit, still dressed in his costume, haunts the area. In fact, people who have looked at the legend of the Bunnyman have concluded that the story above is false. Interestingly, there was a recorded event when a couple was menaced by a man with an axe. He wore a white suit and bunny ears. That's not an axe, that's a chainsaw. Anyway, number 6, Dog Boy of Arkansas. In the Arkansas town of Quitman, many of the houses are supposed to be home to ghosts. Gerald Floyd Bettis was born in one such haunted house in 1954. Apparently, the boy was sufficiently spooky for his house. He developed a mean streak along with unusual habits such as collecting cats and dogs. This is how he gained the name Dog Boy. Gerald was not caring for the animals he found, but torturing them instead. Neighbors could hear their screams. As Gerald grew up, he tormented his parents, forcing them to live only in the upstairs rooms, and feeding them only when he decided they needed feeding. He threw his elderly father out a window and beat up his mother. Eventually, Gerald was arrested for his crimes and died of a drug overdose. But Dog Boy was not done with his home. The new owners of the house have reported coins floating down hallways, lights turning on their own accord, and spectral apparitions. Due to these darned spirits, the house has been difficult to sell. Just abandon the house. I mean, even though you abandoned it, you still gotta pay for it. It's still your house. So there's like this ad here that says, take a survey now. Did you vote for Trump? No, because I can't and I will never. Will he be a good president? No. Anyway, number 5, Skunk Ape. The skunk ape is a creature said to stamp through the swamps of several states. Also known as the swamp ape or swamp cabbage man. This large humanoid beast carries with it a pungent and repulsive odor, as you might if you spent your life in the swamp. As if it's supposed to look somewhat like Bigfoot, many people are searching to capture the skunk ape to find out just what it is. Sightings of the creature tend to occur when hunters spot something moving in the dense plants. Suddenly, a tall and biteable hairy monster looms up and runs away, leaving nothing but an awful stench in the air. Given the eyewitness testimonies and the lack of any physical evidence, most researchers think that the skunk ape, if it exists at all, is just a black bear that has rolled around in something nasty. On the other hand, Dave Shealy is so sure that the skunk ape is out there that he has set up a skunk ape research headquarters in the Florida Everglades. Well, it's just a video. Number 4, Charlie No Face. Charlie No Face may be the saddest case of a modern monster. At night, people would drive down the black roads of Pennsylvania to catch a glimpse of a monster they called the Green Man or Charlie No-Face. In the glare of their headlights, they might see a solitary figure slowly walking up and down the streets. Oh, God. Oh, sorry. With a disfigured face. Shrieking, they would drive off and tell the story of how they came face to no face with the legendary creature. The real monsters were the ones in the cars. Charlie No-Face was a man whose real name was Ray. He had suffered a terrible accident as a child when he climbed a pole to reach a bird's nest. The pole carried a high current electric wire, and Ray was burned so badly that he lost his nose, eyes, and right arm. Due to his appearance, Ray preferred to stay inside during the day with his family, but he liked to go for walks at night so that he would not frighten people. Despite the sometimes cruel attention he received from those who came to see Charlie No-Face, Ray refused to let them put him off his nightly strolls. So this wouldn't be a monster. This is upsetting. Why would you call this a monster? Okay, that's creepy. That is just upset. Why the frick would you call this dude a monster? I get it, he looks like a monster, you wouldn't know. Okay. I mean, if I saw that thing coming at me, I'm frickin' running. Okay, if I saw that boy, I'm running. Number 3, Goatman. Few things would be scarier than meeting a creature that had the head and legs of a goat, but the body of a human. However, the Goatman of Maryland is even more terrifying because he also carries an axe. Oh, it's Goatman. The Goatman. Okay. According to legend, the monster was created by a scientist who was doing research into whatever mad scientists do with goats. The experiment went wrong, and the researcher was transformed into a half-man, half-goat. Apparently a little distressed by this change, he took out his rage on cars with an axe. The Goatman legend took off in 1971 when a local dog was found decapitated. Now the Goatman is said to enjoy bleating at people out of the darkness in the woods. He has a particular fondness for hunting places where lovers in cars like to park. Yeah, love is in the air and he destroys it. The legend of the Goatman was kept alive by local teens who would use the excuse of Goatman hunting to organize drunken parties. Imagine meeting the Goatman when you're drunk, though. Hey, you won't know. Number 2, the three-legged lady of Nash Road. It's freaking gross. By the way, there's no picture of the Goatman. Maybe if I learn editing, I can give you a picture. Hold on a second. The three-legged lady of Mississippi is a ghost that locals claim will chase you down Nash Road. And racing against a three-legged lady doesn't sound very fair. Sources vary, but legend has it that a young girl was kidnapped and murdered in the area. The killers cut up her body and tossed it into the woods. Jesus. When the girl's mother was searching for her daughter, all she found was a single leg. Unable to stop searching, she now wanders Nash Road with the decaying leg of her daughter stitched crudely to her body. Should you want, for some reason, to meet the three-legged lady, you must drive to Nash Road at night, turn off your headlights, and honk your horn 3 times. The three-legged lady will then tap on the roof of your car as you drive off. Presumably, in horror, she will race you along the road, bumping into you all the way. It's not recorded what happens if you lose the race. Well, note to self, don't go to Mississippi. Well, you can go to Mississippi, but don't go down Nash Road at night. And number 1, melon heads. In Michigan, Ohio, and Connecticut, people have reported sightings and attacks by small humanoids with grotesquely swollen heads. The melon heads, as they are known, are often associated with legends of people locked up in asylums. In Ohio, the melon heads are said to be cannibals who stalk rural places with shriveled bodies but massive heads. These pale creatures surprise the unwary and attack them with their pointed teeth. Local tales describe how the melonheads were taken in as children by a demented scientist called Dr. Crow. Through his experiments on them, they became twisted. When they escaped or were let loose, they thrived and waited in lonely places to capture their victims. In Michigan, the melonheads were children suffering from hydrocephalus. I don't know what condition that can cause the head to swell immensely. After being abused, they escaped from the hospital where they were being held and became feral in the wild. Of course, there is no evidence for the melonhead's existence, but there never is any evidence until there is. Well, I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button down below. If you know of any other monsters out there that you think exist. Anyway, I'm looking at another one. I'm so sorry, I was looking at another thing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.